Dr. Cuillier.
Thank you, Senator Franken. I want to thank you for the opportunity to testify today on behalf of the Society of Professional Journalists and the Sunshine in Government Initiative. As you know, we're passionate about access to government information. FOIA helps journalists reveal corruption, expose problems in society, empower citizens. Recently, journalists have used FOIA to expose dangers of crime aboard cruise ships. They've used FOIA to discover conflicts of interest among Federal Reserve Bank presidents. They've used FOIA to show how drug companies influence what appears on warning labels. FOIA makes a difference. It saves lives. But I'm here today to say that FOIA is terribly, terribly broken, and it needs more than just reinvigoration. It really needs resuscitation. You all have worked hard to improve FOIA. The 2007 Open Government Act, creation of OGIS, for that we thank you, all great. But on the ground today, people's real access to information is actually more and more restricted than ever. For example, this year the U.S. dropped 13 spots in the world ranking of press freedom, down to 46th place, behind such countries as Romania, El Salvador, and Botswana. When you compare FOIA laws around the world, the statutes, among the 90 or so countries that have them, the U.S. now ranks, and get this, 44th. We're nearly in the second half in FOIA statute strength in the world. We have a weaker FOIA law than Uganda, Kyrgyzstan, Mexico, and Russia. Well, this trend is supported by other recent research. The Associated Press found that use of exemptions have increased 22% from 2011 to 2012. A study out of Penn State showed that agencies have used privacy exemptions to deny records more often in the Obama administration than the Bush administration. In surveys and anecdotally, journalists report increased delays, excessive fees, and agencies frankly gaming the system. Journalists are angry, they're livid, and I've never seen them as angry as they are now. You may recall, for example, that chemical contamination of drinking water a few months ago in West Virginia, affecting 30,000 residents. There's a reporter down over there, Ken Ward Jr. He's been stonewalled by the EPA and CDC. He requested records regarding health risks to pregnant women. But last week, the CDC denied his petition for expedited review. They told him there was no urgent need to inform the public about the matter. Another reporter told me last week about a data request he initiated a couple years ago with Immigration and Customs Enforcement. After resistance and delays, Immigration referred the matter to OGIS for mediation. But then, after more delay, they decided not to go through mediation. Then they said too much time had passed and the reporter couldn't appeal anymore. So case closed. Now the reporter has to submit another request and start all over. It's that kind of behavior that we see that is causing a lot of problems. Agencies are getting more sophisticated in denying, delaying, and derailing requests, using FOIA as a tool of secrecy, not of openness. So we can reverse this trend, but it's going to take significant action, such as, number one, we probably should codify the presumption of openness. Let's enshrine into law that records should be freely available to the public unless disclosure would cause a specific, foreseeable, and identifiable harm. Number two, definitely, as we've heard here, strengthen OGIS. Needs more staff, needs more independence, needs more authority. OGIS should have a Chief FOIA Officers Council to recommend changes. OGIS should have enforcement powers. Some states have created enforcement mechanisms. Even Mexico has. So why not the U.S. government? Really? Number three, streamline the process. It's good to hear work is underway in a single online portal for receiving and tracking requests. Great. Harness the internet, save money, time, frustration. I think we can all agree to that. But more important, number four, far more important than technology, gizmos, doodads, and gewgaws, is reining in the statutory exemptions. That is primarily the most important thing we can do, because exemptions are being used today to end-run FOIA, crippling the law. And over the years, we appreciate pushback on exemptions, most recently with the Farm Bill, but we need to narrow the application, particularly with B3. We need sunsets. We need a public interest balancing test, like Ms. Bennett said. And we need to require exemptions go through the Judiciary Committee for review. Of course, there are many other ways we can make beneficial changes to FOIA, and I know my colleagues next to me will provide more ideas, but I think the final thought I'd like to leave you with is this. We are undergoing a climate change in this nation with our transparency. And unless we take action now, I think we can forecast a future shrouded by cloudiness, darkness, and secrecy. I thank you for the opportunity to testify, and I look forward to answering your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.